Hey guys, just wanted to welcome you to one of my favorite neighborhoods in the city of Chicago, which is going to be South Loop. We are accompanied by little Rodeo today, and she and I are going to go for a long walk around this neighborhood, showing you guys what we love about this area and just giving you a feel for the dynamics of the neighborhood. South Loop is a very large neighborhood, and it actually is right south of the Loop, clearly. But it's south of Congress Avenue, and it goes down to the highway, which is 55, that goes to Lakeshore Drive. And then it's also flanked by the lake, and then also by the river on the other side. Being on the north side, you're gonna be super urban. It's going to be high rises, you get a lot of lofts. It's gonna be very, very densely packed. Whereas in the middle and on the south side, there are not as many buildings that are gonna be there. It's a lot of empty parking spaces, which used to be this neighborhood, and it has developed so much from the mid to late 2000s to now. We want to help you live your Chicago lifestyle. I'm Samuel Shahan. I'm actually a real estate broker here in the city of Chicago. I've been here for 17 years, since 2007, and have fallen in love with this entire city and just want to help you guys explore it. So please, if you love this video, make sure to like and subscribe. Also, if you are looking to move to the city of Chicago, always feel free to reach out to us. We are so excited to work with all of our home buyers coming in from out of state, hopefully helping them navigate all of the different neighborhoods that Chicago has. Come help us explore South Loop. All right, so we are starting our walking tour off right here in Motor Row. So Motor Row is this sub-neighborhood on the south side of South Loop. I actually really like this neighborhood, and it has changed so much since I've been in Chicago selling real estate. It used to be a former repair showroom for all of the different vehicle manufacturers that used to be in this neighborhood in the early 1900s. So the cool thing about it is you get these really amazing vintage buildings that are decadent on the outside, but they have so much space on the inside. I mean, like literally right across the street, you can see these are loft buildings, and they're huge. My favorite thing about them is just like the ceiling heights and the amount of space that they offer. There's been a lot of things coming into the neighborhood, making it kind of this like new entertainment hub, which has been really kind of fun. Denier is like the new brewery house. Two former Lagunitas employees took it over and started that company. But then you also have like Lips, which we're gonna walk past, which is a drag show performance. They've put in a handful of restaurants and just have really kind of like cleaned up this neighborhood and really have kind of solidified it as this entertainment hub, especially since we're right next to McCormick Place. So they've put in brand new hotels and put some really good restaurants in. So it's kind of fun. So let's just keep walking, kind of explore this neighborhood still. Again, coming into Motor Row, we have Lips, which is actually a really cool drag performance here in the South Loop. They opened up a handful of years, actually I think right before the pandemic, and it's actually really kind of fun. I've been a handful of times. They have nightly drag performances, and then they have really good cocktails actually. So if you're in the neighborhood, definitely stop by. We always love supporting our queer-friendly businesses, which is awesome. As we like walk outside of Motor Row, you actually get into the McCormick Place area, which is gonna have a lot of like entertainment as well. You also have all the hotels right here. Because it's a big convention center, the new Marriott they just put in, which is right there. This Hampton Inn is newer. So they've built a lot of things around this area. And then also right across the street here is DePaul's new basketball arena, which is really great. They actually do a lot of concerts there as well, which has been really fun. I know I saw Ben Platt, which was really kind of special. Now in this neighborhood also, you do have a couple rental buildings that are gonna be these high rises, but you also do have a handful of loft buildings, which is gonna be similar to Motor Row. A lot of different opportunities for you as well. So let's keep on walking. So on the west side of South Loop, you have the famous Reggie's, known for its rocker vibes. The funniest story about Reggie's is way back in the day, I was 21 years old and I decided, because it was the recession, I decided to take a bartending class. And so they were like, we're gonna help you get a job. And so way back in 2011, I came in here and applied for a bartending job. Obviously, they never even called me back, but this is literally a staple for the neighborhood. I know so many of my clients always talk about Reggie's, and the fact that they always want to come down here is so much fun. The restaurant actually has a rooftop, which in the South Loop, there aren't a ton of rooftop restaurants, which is really kind of fun. They have like a basketball thing. It's right next to the train, so you can see the train going by. They also do live rock music. I'm not a rock person, but it is something that's here. So entertainment in the neighborhood. Let's keep walking. So over in this neighborhood, this part of South Loop, it's a little bit less crowded. That's the thing that most people like about the South Loop, is how quiet it is. There's not a ton of nightlife and restaurants. It's really kind of sleepy. It's kind of like the opposite of like West Loop and River North, but you're still getting that downtown vibe with all the high rises and the lofts that it offers. Hey guys, so we are right in front of Pot Brew and Bakery, which is one of my favorite coffee shops in this neighborhood. It's right on the corner of 18th and Wabash. It's fantastic. It was one of the garages that were here that they actually converted, and it's so cute. It's locally owned, and it's one of the best coffee you will ever find. So come on and take a look at it.
Hey, how are you?
Good. Can I do an iced chai tea latte?
Okay.
Yeah, 2 banana breads and then a puppuccino. One of the best features of the South Loop is the Fred Anderson Dog Park, which is right here. It's probably one of my favorite dog parks in the entire city. They actually separate it between a large dog park and small dogs. So you really keep them separate if you want, but they also have water features. It's a really nice run if you're like playing fetch with your dog. Everyone has access to it and it's awesome. So definitely one of the big perks of the neighborhood. So it is really kind of nice though. Like literally right around here are all a bunch of different high rises. So all these condos, the pups love it too. All right, Deo, you ready? All right, so now what we're doing is we're going into like the historic Prairie district, which is a really pretty sub-neighborhood of South Loop. This is gonna be on the east side of it, right along the lake, and it's where the historic homes used to be. So all the mansions. We're just passing Spoken Bird, which is a really cute cafe that has this really nice patio. So now we're gonna go into the Chicago Women's Garden. Now we're on actual Prairie Drive, which is amazing. It's going to be all these gorgeous mansions, which are all across the street, right across from the park. It's really interesting because all of these are brand new and they look like they were the old houses that used to be here. If you like walk down here, you actually see like all these posters. The South Loop actually used to be the wealthiest neighborhood in Chicago before the Palmers went up to Gold Coast, which is actually really fascinating. This neighborhood is super family friendly. As you can see, there's a lot of kids running around here, but you get a lot of single family homes. There's a lot of townhomes around here as well. Price points down here for them are gonna start a little over $1 million. So just expected price tag, but you get a whole house for it. Honestly, this is one of my favorite neighborhoods to walk through in the city of Chicago. So let's go. So good thing about this neighborhood is right here you have 18th Street Bridge, which has a metro stop, so for public transportation, but then it also goes over into Museum Campus, which is where the Soldier Field is, the planetarium, the museum, all of that stuff. So really kind of nice. There's also a 12th Street beach as well, so if you're looking for a little relaxation in the sun and sand, that's where you want to go. So in a sea of townhomes is one of my favorite buildings, which is 1629 South Prairie. It was a building that was built and actually Related Realty took it over during the recession and redid all the common areas. I just think it's a phenomenal building. All the amenities are on the rooftop, which give it sweeping views of the lake as well as all the way downtown. It's just like one of my favorite buildings. I've sold a lot in it, so it has a special place in my heart. So when you're in South Loop, the cutoff of 16th Street is actually pretty big. So when you're north of it, it gets really densely populated with a lot more high-rises, a lot more things to do, versus the south side, which is going to be a little bit more residential. You have Motor Row, which is becoming this entertainment hub, but naturally this area is a little bit more residential. You still get the high-rises, but they're going to be more sparse than the other ones. The nice thing about 16th Street, you have the Marianos that they just put over on Clark Street, and there's just a ton more to do over in this area, which is awesome. The cool thing about being in the South Loop also is that there are so many unique old buildings that they converted. And so they're lofts, which are really interesting and have good bones. This is one of the buildings that I'm obsessed with. I've had clients buy in here as well, and it's so pretty and just unique. This neighborhood is actually so big as well that it's actually split up into 2 zip codes. North of 16th, you're at 60605, and then the south side of South Loop is 60616. The big draw of this neighborhood is just the accessibility to be in downtown. You have really good public transportation, which not all neighborhoods have, because you have the Green Line, you also have the Red Line, and you actually also have the Orange Line, which will pick you up right at Roosevelt, which is going to be up here. Oh, cool. Victory Italian. I didn't know that they moved down here. Victory Italian actually is really good. It used to be in River North. I knew that they closed down during the pandemic, but I didn't realize they moved down here. That's really great because this neighborhood really needs more restaurants. So more restaurants coming in is always a positive thing. I mean, up here we also have the Chicago Firehouse, which it burned down during the pandemic, but they just redid it and it just opened up about last year, I think, if I remember correctly. And it's so good, but it's an old firehouse that they converted into a restaurant. Really been a staple of the neighborhood, so I'm glad to see it back up and running. South Loop is going to be way more dense. You can see there's just high rise, high rise, high rise, high rise. It's going to give you like that downtown feeling, but it's still close enough to the actual downtown where everyone works, which is the Loop. And you also have like access to the park, which is fantastic. I mean, like that's what a lot of people really like. You're going to have the baseball fields, the tennis courts, the dog park. There is a dog park within Grant Park. You also have all the music festivals. During the 4th of July, we've done NASCAR the last 2 years, and we still have 1 more year on our contract. So it's a lot of like really fun things to do in this neighborhood. Like I said, it's a lot less residential than being south of 16th, which if you're looking for the hustle and bustle, this is it. So as we pass Roosevelt Street going north, We actually go into another sub-neighborhood of the South Loop, which is going into Printers Row. Now, the thing about it that we love is Michigan Avenue is always windy, so that is fun. The one thing that we do love about this neighborhood is it's a lot of vintage homes. You get really interesting architecture, and you can get a lot for your money still over here. The perfect thing about it is you're actually right across the street from Millennium Park as well. So you get the dog park, you get the actual park, they do dancing, they have free concerts here, everything that you actually kind of want, and it's so pretty and kind of just makes Chicago, Chicago. Helmut Jan, this is his last building that he built or designed. It's 1000 South Michigan Avenue. He's a really world-renowned architect that was based out of Chicago, and so it's nice to see his legacy come back, especially in the Chicago skyline. It really is a triumph for that. So interesting. Love it. So guys, thank you so much for joining me in Rodeo. We are tuckered out. We just literally, I just looked at my watch. We walked 4 miles throughout the entire thing. It was really fun exploring the South Loop. This is one of my favorite neighborhoods in the city. I think it has so many different dynamics and different character. I love the fact that it's right off of the lake and it has access to, museum campus with Burnham Harbor. All of our clients really love the different styles of homes that you can find here, but also I just love the community that South Loop has developed. I think in the last handful of years, I think a lot of people have really flocked to this neighborhood. I see a lot of new construction and a lot of people moving into the area, having DePaul put in their sporting center, as well as the Marriott, which is brand new, and expanding all Motor Row, as well as kind of like that McCormick convention area, is really bringing a different vibe to the neighborhood because you're seeing a lot more tourism come down there as well. I mean, again, these high-rises are breathtaking, and I cannot ever believe that we actually got to develop them and grow them and actually build them. Just the engineering feat that is second to none. We're in Grant Park, which is the south end of Millennium Park. It's really great. You can actually see the walking statues right behind us. And this is a public park that everyone has access to and is right here off of Printers Row. As always, we want to thank you again for hanging out with us, walking Rodeo, and exploring the South Loop. Please like and subscribe so that you get notifications for all of our other future videos that are coming up. Again, if you're making a move to the city of Chicago, we would love to help you explore the different neighborhoods, find what dynamic you really like, and get you into the perfect space. So I'll leave my information in the description below. So always feel free to reach out to us and we can help your dreams come true of moving to the city of Chicago, because it's the best city in the world and I could never imagine living anywhere else. So enjoy, and we hope you love the Chicago lifestyle.